So I'm making a shadow box today. So we're doing a shadow box, and I'm going to walk you through the steps to do a baby reveal shadow box. So this one was purchased on Amazon. So if you want to get the true depth and definition for your designs, you have to go with the authentic stuff. So I'm just going to set this aside while I work on the background. So for your shadow box, you are definitely going to need the items to go on the shadow box, inside the shadow box, and you will also need some pins and a glue gun. Glue gun is super important. It's a necessity for creating your shadow box. All right, so first what I want to do is to lay out the design, you know, how I want this to fall. So I'm going to go with the darker pink. So I don't want it too close. You need a little space on the edges to close the shadow box. Alright. So I first need to secure this one. So I'm using some pins. So I'm getting the pins ready for the design. So these are the pins that we're using. So let's get to it. So first I'm going to secure Make sure it's not coming on the other side. Okay. So the key here is to keep this in place. So I'm gonna make sure that it's sitting properly. And shadow boxes aren't difficult to make. You just want to make sure that you have your pins or a glue gun to keep the items secure once you're finished with your shadow box. So just getting the pins in. So I don't want this one so close. So let's adjust that. We're making progress. So I'm going to secure this here with a pin. So the secret to this is having enough pins. So the pins keep things in place. So I'm going to also pin from underneath. So this doesn't move out of place at all. Like that. Make sure that you have good lighting so you can see what I'm doing. Sorry guys if my lighting is a little bit off. This is literally my first live, but it's now or never. So here's what we're gonna do. So we're doing another top, and we want this one to just slightly fall over the first one, right? And we also want to drop these little boots on. So the little boots are pretty much going to sit here. And I'm thinking leaving them standing would work because, you know, they're so cute. They are so cute. So let me adjust this just a little bit. So this is a shadow box for a gender reveal, right? And I'm going to walk you through the entire process, you know, of making it and wrapping the finished product. All right, so you need these little pins to secure the items that you're going to place in the shadow box. So I'm pretty much just going in and securing the items. Okay. So when it's sitting on the wall, it doesn't, you know, roll over or anything. It doesn't fall off. inside the design. And no matter how much, you know, you're moving this around, these are going to stay in place. Right? So the back is secured. So now we're just going to pin the top. So you really want to do it in such a way that it's not showing, so pretty discreet. Right? So I'm actually pinning from under, so you're not seeing the pins that I'm putting in. Yeah. So it's definitely going to sit in place once this is placed on the wall. So we're doing a shadow box today for a baby gender reveal. We're just pinning everything in place. Make sure nothing falls out when this goes on the wall. Just securing all the areas. Oops, okay, so this one isn't really working, so let's grab another one. It's better. I'm just checking the back to make sure that, you know, none of the tacks are coming through. So we need to get the sleeve in place. And remember, we need a little bit of border to the sides, so when we're we're putting it back together, you know, it's not sitting too close to the frame. Okay. All right, so we pretty much have the shirts in place. So the next step now is to attach the little boots. Let me just do a quick mark just to make sure. Right, that everything is sitting right. I think my shirt here too close to the edge. Still too close to the edge. So we may have to I want to see if this is too high. Yeah, it's too high. So I'm going to have to pin the socks laying down. So I'm definitely going to be using my glue gun, but towards the end just to secure things a little bit more so that they're laying down. So I'm removing the little socks from that design. So we'll just have to do a little let's see what looks better. And we have one more. So this is where we want these to sit. And the last item we want to attach to this is the ultrasound results, right? So the ultrasound results, I want to make sure that it's sitting comfortably. So let me try and adjust this up a little bit. So we have a little ribbon, a little headband design here that we want to get on. So I think that is cute. Yeah. Let's see how we can get these socks to look right. Right. A little playful, not too boring. Okay, so let's secure the little socks first. So we want to get the pin all the way in, so it's not showing. Let me work on that a little bit more. Off the way. There we go. And we are securing the second sock with the pins. We'll definitely go in with the glue gun after, you know, just to make sure that it's looking okay. Okay. So this is the position that we want it in. And there we go. So we're keeping the ultrasound results to this side. So now I just need to secure the ultrasound results. All right. So this one is a little delicate because I don't want to damage it. So I'm just going to slide a little pin. And this pin pretty much is going to be hidden by the headband that we're going to put on. All right. So this headband is definitely going to serve some purpose. What I'll do is I'll use another pin to secure the ultrasound result right here, and this will be hidden pretty much. Careful. Careful. There we go. All right. So the ultrasound result is in place. and doing what it's supposed to do. This is coming together really nicely. Yeah. So the only thing I need to do now is to secure the headband. So securing the headband, I'm going to go from underneath so I can hide those pins. And then we're securing it again from this side. Okay. I'm going to do one final secure from inside here. So there's no way to see any of this. All right. So let's just do a quick test before we add the glue gun to secure it a little bit more. And for the glass, I definitely want to clean this up a little bit with some alcohol. So there's no residue on the inside. So I'm pretty much just spraying some alcohol in. Have a paper towel, and we're just cleaning. Corner to corner, top to bottom. We can do the outer glass after everything is in place. So this is just a test to make sure that this is sitting properly and things are looking great. So we're just going to go in and secure this thumb with our glue gun. Right? So looking great. All right, so time for the glue gun. So first of all, I want to secure to be so careful with a glue gun because it leaves the little strings that, you know, sometimes messes up your design. So I want my socks to lay down and not looking crumpy. All right? So anything at all that you want to just lay down and be still, this is the secret right here. Like I said, with this, to be so careful. So we can't do much glue gun with the ultrasound results because here we are making a boo-boo already. So I'm going to try to find something to cover that up a bit and kind of design it so it appears to be a part of the design. So what we'll have to do is to use one of the fancy pins to hold that in place a little bit. So it's not recommended to use a glue gun on the ultrasound results. Okay, so if this was something that I thought was possible, it sincerely is not. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I just did a tiny test right there, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to mess with that, because I can't do a redo on the ultrasound results. All right, so I think we are good for the most part with keeping everything else in place. Everything else seems secure. Okay. So for the most part, everything is in place, and I just need to get a pin to close this off right here. And we did have some pins that came in the package, so we can use one of those pins because they are nicer, much nicer than my plain pins. All right. So there we go. We really just want the results to stay in and, you know, still be cute. So I'm gonna get one in from this side. This side is really not necessary, but it's really for, you know, just for the aesthetics of things. All right. So these. Alright, so everything is in. I just need to find something cute to cover this right here. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're gonna go with a little butterfly. For this one, we are going to get some other glue, so we are not messing up. Alright, so we're just gonna attach a little butterfly to the corner. Alright, so that should do it. And then I will attach another little butterfly, you know, just to kind of balance things out a little bit. So this gender reveal will be cute. So we're using a shadow box to create a gender reveal for a baby girl. So the shadow boxes are like frames that you can add really nice things to for weddings, a baby announcement, that kind of stuff. So these are not pink butterflies, but they will work. All right. So I'm gonna attach everything together now. The glue is already dried. The pin's already in place, so I just need to put this back on into the shadow box and close it up, and then we'll wrap it up for the go live. Alright, so remember, you absolutely cannot use the glue gun on the ultrasound results, because that will damage the ultrasound result. Alright, so that's what I'm trying to solve for right now, because the glue gun made a little spot when I tried to seal. I'm just adding a little bit more glue to this so it really stays in place. So it's just a little butterfly to add a little bit of design to it. So this shadow box is 11.5 in terms of length, so it's not very big. If you want something bigger to add more stuff, then that's perfect. But we're just gonna go with this one. All right. So I had some other little designs that I could add to it, but I really don't want to overdo it and overpower, you know, what we're going for here. So we're just gonna keep it simple. So let me show you the box. This is the box that it will go in. All right, so I'm just gonna sit this to the side, and we're just cleaning this up a little bit. So we just need some alcohol, paper towel to get rid of any smudges or little fuzz that might be on the inside of your shadow box. So it's pretty much just cleaning glass. Okay, because you really don't want to be looking from the outside and you're seeing little things inside your design. So it's best to just clean it up before we close it up. I mean, you can always open it and fix that, but let's get it right the first time. All right. So now the next thing is to place this and close it up. I'm just going to double check that everything is in place and everything is looking good. So it's pretty easy to close out. And this is just another way to create a gender reveal surprise item. You know, if you don't want to have all the mess and clean up, if you know, if you're doing something, for example, in a restaurant and it's gonna be too messy, here's another idea. And this already has the hooks for the wall, so you know, you can have it sitting on a desk or you can have it on the wall. Okay, so everything is in place and this is what it's looking like. So let me just clean the glass on the outside. The final thing that I'll do is to wrap. I'm gonna wrap this frame to have it appear as a painting. So if you know, when you're doing paintings, you pretty much have it wrapped in this brown paper here, so you definitely don't know what's on the inside. And I had this foam board, so I cut it to the size of the shadow box, so it's pretty much going to be covering it up. So when they open it, you won't be able to see what's on the inside unless you remove the foam. All right. So just cleaning up. So this is my first live. I know I don't have a lot of participants today, but I'm hoping that in the future, you know, we can do some more. So I'm seeing a little fuzz right here, so I need to go back in and get this glass a little bit cleaner. So let me get another napkin to make sure we're doing it right. Okay, so I'm gonna just open the shadow box, go in and remove that little fuzz that I identified, because I don't want my customer to see a little fuzz and be like, what is that? You know? All right, so with some more alcohol, some more paper towel, so I'm going to leave the link in the description for the Amazon purchase of this shadow box. It's really nice. It was exactly what the customer wanted. That's the person who is doing the surprise. She wanted a silver border or silver frame, and she didn't want it to be too fussy, you know, so we're definitely in with what she wanted. So everything is in place, nothing is falling off. This little guy here definitely needs a little bit more time to dry, but should be good. Once we're not touching it, it will dry on its own. This particular glue usually takes some time to dry. That's the liquid fusion, but it's pretty solid. So we're just securing our design again. All right. So this is what we have. Glass is nice and clean. So now it's time for us to wrap it. I'm gonna cover the surface here with my foam board, right? So when the mother is revealing, she pretty much has to pull this away first before she sees what's inside. So that's the aim. All right. So let me make some space for my wrapping process and get my tacks out of the way. All right, so for the wrapping process, as I mentioned before, the aim is to do painting setting. So we're gonna wrap it with this brown paper here. Okay, so I need to cut that to size. So I'm going to pretty much be using 2 sheets of these so that it's nicely covered. So I'm going to tape it from the other side to this side, so when she's revealing, she has to, you know, face the board, the foam board. Okay? So let me go ahead and cut this. I don't have a lot of space on this table, so I'm going to go off a little bit. And if we're giving it a true painting finish, we also need the tape to close it off so it's looking authentic. Center that. So the first set of covering will leave a little space, so I'll need to come from top to bottom in the next go. All right, or I should go a little bit closer with the paper. Let me do another cut so I'm not revealing this just yet. Okay, so I think this should do it. This seems like a lot more paper. My space is just so limited, but we're gonna make it work. Right, so this is how we do it. So we're gonna wrap. And then I'm coming all the way over, close it up. Okay, so this tape here is pretty strong, and you know, it gives it the authentic painting look once we're through. So I'm pretty much just going to cut a few strips here, close this first layer. Maybe should have done some pre-cuts before. In the interest of time, I really don't want to give her too much work to do either, so I'm not going to do like a very tight close. Okay. All right. I feel like I'm the worst at wrapping stuff, but we're gonna get it done. Oh, hold on. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it. There we go. There we go. So I'm gonna close that up. Close that up. Close that up. And then for the top and the bottom, we're just gonna close it like you're wrapping a present. That's easy. All right. So let me get some more tape. But you're pretty much getting the gist of it. So when she received this package, she's just gonna tear this off, right? So once she tears it off, what's inside, and she's ripping it apart, she opens it up, still covered, and then the reveal, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you joining today and sticking with me. So I look forward to doing a lot more lives in the future, and I hope to see you connecting, asking questions, engaging, and I'm hoping that this video was helpful for you today. Shadow boxes are pretty easy to make, and the new vibe now is creating a shadow box for a gender reveal. All right, so this is what it looks like. Let me know if you like this design, if this is something you think you will try in the future. As I said before, this is for a customer. They're doing a gender reveal on the weekend, and they wanted to do something totally different. You know, no confettis to try to figure it out, no cakes. They wanted something totally different, so this is the vibe. You can also use shadow boxes for babies that are already born and you want to do like a keepsake for those babies. Let me see if I can switch my camera so you guys can see my tired face. So this is it. So don't hesitate to leave me a thumbs up if you like this new idea, if this is something that you are planning to try in the future, right? Crafting is just so much fun. There's so much that you can create, you can bring to life, you know, happy customers when you're finished with your products. I mean, it's endless possibilities, and it's one of the reasons why I love crafting so much. Yeah. So this mom is patiently awaiting, or really not patiently waiting, her gender reveal. She is, you know, desperately waiting to see what type of baby she's having, you know. So this is it. So I'm gonna wrap this up nicely, but I wanted to at least show you before I do the wrap, you know, what that looks like. So this shadow box, it has, you know, good depth inside for you to place things that are, you know, not paper thin, and you want to keep memories. So this is great for keeping memories. It already has the little hook on the back. It's easy to remove, they're easy to create, and they're very cost effective. So thanks again for joining today. I'm hoping that this video was helpful, and I will try to do more of these lives in the future so you can, you know, learn something new. All right. Thanks again, guys.